Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Seatt's here, and it's Friday, and I'm freaking out because I just found out yesterday that the Raptors are getting a new in-season tournament court. Yeah, it was leaked yesterday. A few of the courts for different NBA teams through NBA 2K25. The video game has them in there apparently, and you can find them. I don't know if they're created, but it's probably true that they're making new ones. Now, I have a problem with this in some ways. Now, there's a couple things to talk about with the court. First of all, I think it looks pretty good. It's very purple. And there's a funny meme out with Seinfeld, with Jerry Seinfeld and Kramer saying, it's the Kenny Rogers Roasters extra episode, where it's like Jerry comes into the door and he says, "What's going on in there, Kramer?" And he's like, "It's the light. It's just crazy. It's keeping me up at night." You remember that episode? Well, he's saying it's the in-season tournament because the purple has just inundated the whole entire apartment of Kramer. But I'm just saying this court is purple. But the great thing about it is it's got the red and black modern logo of the Raptors in the middle of it. So it's got a nice little kind of mismatch of old and new. And then also we've got the Kareem Thomas pinstripes across the court that will match the city edition jerseys that they'll wear on it. Actually, we're going to look really cool in the in-season tournament with the black and the Vince Carter dinosaur logo dunking on the jerseys, and then the purple court with the red logo in the middle. Yeah, I think it's going to look really nice. If you want to see what the court looks like, it's the picture for this stream, and it's all over the internet. You can probably find it. But yeah, I like the court. I think that we're going to have a really good look for it. But once again, I have this problem with the fact that in some ways I'm a very sustainable kind of person. In some ways I'm a minimalist. In some ways I like to reuse, recycle, that kind of stuff. And in some ways these courts cost like $150,000 to make, just so y'all know. I got that source from an article on Sportskeeda, not my favorite source of information, but they have the best article on in-season tournament courts and how much they cost NBA teams. So every single year, is the NBA going to ask all 30 teams to go out and buy a brand new court for $150,000 and only use it for 2 games? That's the thing that bugs me, man. That's not sustainable. What is that message to our society as far as like consumer society? Just buy and dispose, buy and dispose. We buy so much fucking electronics that break and we throw out. We have so much disposable bullshit. Why can't we have stuff that lasts? You know what I'm saying? So in some ways, that's kind of my freak out. Is I'm mad because I feel like every single year teams are gonna have to buy this court and they're gonna use it twice. Now, I have questions. Do we raffle it off for a good cause, charity? Like I could see maybe you want to give a section of the court, sell it to somebody and say, yeah, this is a section of the in-season tournament court. And, you can buy it for charity. That would be a great thing. I mean, what's happening with the wood? Are y'all recycling it? Are you wood chipping it in the yard? What are you going to do with the wood? What is going on? Where's that beautiful black and gold one from last year is what I'm wondering. Where is that beautiful in-season tournament court that we had last year? In some ways, I wanted to see it again. It's such a weird situation. In some ways, NBA, seriously, we can't be a leader in the world for all kinds of different things, social causes and stuff, and have this weird session with this brand new court, 2 games, and then we throw it out. What are we doing with them? Y'all need to be transparent and come out with something. You could do this in a really amazing way, I'm sure. Either you include the charity, as I said, or you do something that's really awesome to sends a good message about recycling and not just like buying new things, wearing it once and tossing it out. I mean, I've heard of these people out there that wear one clothes once and then they throw them out. There's some of them are in the NBA. It's crazy. I'm just like, what are these people doing? We can't live in such a disposable society where we're just tossing stuff out. It's really not sustainable. It's filling up landfills. It's just irresponsible. Let's just put it that way. So I would just say, what is happening with these courts, NBA? And I missed that one last year. Seriously, I wanted to see that court more on our court, in the Scotiabank Arena. So it's kind of a weird situation. I don't totally understand why we have to have a new court every year for 2 fucking games. I mean, seriously. And this is the thing. These courts are more expensive than the regular courts because they're got more graphics on them. They've got more bright color on them. In some ways, they have to worry about these courts. Like, this is the other thing. These courts, and everybody knows this who play ball. Sometimes you got to break courts in, just like anything. Like you get new shoes, you got to break them in before they're really like comfortable. Well, in some ways, these courts were shown last year to have a slip factor. They're so sheeny with the nice beauty on top of it that players were slipping and sliding on them a little bit last season. And in some ways, do they have to buff them up? Buff them up, get some roughage on there so those sneakers can grip the floor. Because seriously, that could be an issue. Also, is like we're gonna come out with brand new courts every year, and out of the 30 teams, there's gonna be some court that's just dangerous for the players. So, man, there's some things about this that still needs to be troubleshot and fixed because it's not exactly right still. It's not exactly right. And I once again, the sustainable mind of myself is like, what the fuck are we doing building new courts for every single team every single year for two fucking games? For 2 games. 2 games. Anyway, that's my Friday freakout right there. I know it's a little subdued. Maybe I'm not yelling and getting all crazy. It doesn't warrant me getting all mad about it. Maybe I'm freaking out more because I like the court again. Once again, I think the Raptors have done a really good job with designing something that looks cool and something that's going to be awesome. And the purple fever people are going crazy now. That's why I'm wearing the purple today, guys. I got to wear the purple because the purple court is out and the purple fever maniacs are getting fed the purple. The purple of the Toronto Raptors. Oh, you got your purple now. You definitely for damn sure got your purple now. All right, y'all. It's a Raptor Freak stream. There's your freak out. Let's go. Let's see what y'all are talking about this morning. The only everyday Toronto Raptors live stream in the morning, 9:30 every morning, talking the Raptors stuff all year long. We're in the off season, baby, and we're everybody else is sleeping and taking the time, getting ready for the season. Nah, Alexa's not taking the season off. It's one continuous season. That's right. Trevor's here first. The Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. What are you saying today? Good morning, family. Be careful how you respond to what you've heard about someone. I may have heard worse about you from the same source. Whoa. Damn. What's like Rona Barrett? Come on now. We got a gossip channel here or something like that. Yeah. I mean, listen, gossip is just insidious and toxic anyway. And honestly, that's the one thing you find out from when you have somebody who comes to you and tells you stuff like that about somebody else. Well, you shouldn't tell them anything about yours because obviously they're going to go around and talk about whoever they want to talk about to whoever. So, I mean, I would just say that's my stance on it is that gossip is toxic and try not to partake in it. That may be the best thing right there. Trevor's saying, I like the new look. Very eye-catching. Yeah, I like the court too, Trevor. I like the court too. And I think a lot of NBA fans are liking what the Raptors are doing with their in-season tournament court and also the City Edition jerseys and stuff that, honestly, I saw a post on Twitter yesterday where they posted 5 of the City Edition jerseys, including our one with the Vince Carter Raptor dunk logo. And everybody was saying that all the rest of the jerseys were trash except for the Raptors. And that was a consensus. And that's not just Toronto-centric people answering that. That's people from all around answering on there, like all fans of the NBA. And the consensus from general NBA fan is our jersey is the best City Edition jersey because in some ways it's got something to it that means something. And a lot of the other stuff is like people in the comments were kind of figuring it out. Oh, that's the Vince Carter dunk. And they've got the Raptor doing it. That's really cool. Shit like that. People are saying in the comments. So, I mean, that's the thing. Raptors have the best City Edition jersey because and NBA fans around the league are noticing. They're saying it themselves. So, yeah, let's see. Kareem is here. Good to see Kareem Thomas, our dunk champion. Also, our third place trophy winner in our WNBA Fantasy League this year. Congratulations, Kareem. You have defeated me in the third bronze medal game. And it is what it is, Lex. You just don't get the hardware here. But Kareem's going to get that bronze this time. He's saying Joel Embiid just locked himself in for a guaranteed $301 million. What is Philly doing? The process to be continued. There's been a lot of signs in the last couple of years that Joel's not totally happy in Philadelphia. There's been a lot of signs that Sixers Nation is not totally happy with having Joel on their team. I think Kareem locked him in on this contract does not mean he's going to be there for that whole thing of the contract. I think that this is an interesting thing because this is an age in the NBA right now with the new salary cap, the new TV deal, and everything shifting like this. We've seen a lot of extensions get locked down with a lot of major NBA players around the league this summer. And don't get it twisted. This is the crazy thing. Some of these teams that are putting in chips on these players long term, it's not going to work out. Now, this is the crazy thing. Philadelphia's track record as a team around Embiid has not been good. There's been all kinds of trying different people around him, and in some ways, the success has not been there. Now, Paul George is an interesting addition with them, and it could work with him. I'm not going to say it won't. But if the track record holds, there's going to be a thing where, once again, this team of the Sixers may be a team that is very high paid and in the luxury tax and paying tax, but still not successful. And that's the danger of what they just did, locking in Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid like this. Now, let's say Tyrese Maxey's a winner. That guy stays Sixers forever because he is the right guy for them. But the other two guys, I'm not sure about in their big three. The thing about it is with the Sixers is that they are going for it this year. Don't get it twisted. With Nick Nurse coaching them, getting Yabusele from France this summer, and some of the other people they're building around this team. We know Kyle Lowry, the GOAT, is still on that team also. Sixers are going for the chip this year. In fact, that's a lot of the murmurs right now is they're like, oh, the Celtics won their chip this year. We need to go get ours this year is what we're hearing out of Philadelphia. So I don't know. I was watching Rico Hines clip that just came out this week, and there's basically a glorified scrimmage between the Sixers and the Blazers on the latest clip, and we get to see some of our former Raptors on there. There's a lot of Christian Coloco on the latest Rico Hines. He's actually running with the Sixers, which is kind of a little weird. And then on the other side for the Blazers, of course, you got our guy Delano Banton, 45 bus, running around with Shaedon Sharpe of Canada also, and their first-round pick, Donovan Clingham, is in the clip also. So it's a very interesting clip. It's fun to watch. Jeffrey Doughton Jr. is in there kicking ass. Reggie Jackson is on there. So the Sixers team versus the Blazers team on Rico Hines' latest clip is actually highly recommended because you kind of get to see Coloco out there running around, even though he's not cleared by the NBA yet. And you also see our guy Delano out there. And Delano looks good in it. He looks really good. And that Trailblazers energy out there with those guys and that unit is interesting. It's interesting. But yeah, you know what? I wouldn't say this. I don't think Embiid's going to make it in Philly to the end of that contract is what I'm going to say right now. There's going to be weird stuff if they don't win this year. That's what I'll say right now. If they don't win the championship this year, Joel's probably going to and some other team like the Knicks or something will do some move to get him. Watch. Because that's been the writing on the wall this whole time is like Joel you could leave and go to the Knicks. He could go out west. Who knows? Trevor's saying Grady looks good out there getting that work in. Yeah, it's good to see Grady doing what he does. Let's go look at the Instagram stories since you brought it up. First of all, we got DeMar DeRozan on the Instagram stories he's got the #1 Canadian bestseller. In the country of Canada, his book is #1 bestseller on the bestseller list. That's huge. And it really does show the love and the connection between DeMar DeRozan and the Toronto Raptors and Canada as a country, that he is the #1 best-selling book in our nation right now. That's badass. I'm gonna be reading that Above the Noise, y'all, and I'll be having a report on it, my takes on it on Sunday, guys. So tune in on Sunday morning at 9:30. I'll be talking about Above the Noise. Yeah, we've got a clip of Siakam. Siakam got the book from DeMar, early release, and he's looking at it. And in some ways, Siakam, you're being silly. He's like, my guy, my vet. I got his book. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to read this. And he's like, I've never actually read a book, is what he says. I'm like, Siakam, don't say some shit like that. You don't look good when you say something like I haven't actually finished a book ever in my life. He does actually say that, y'all. And he's saying, I think this book is going to be the first book that I ever finished in my life. Siakam, don't say shit like that. It does not befit you. Just understand this, please. Norman Powell's talking about the top 5 in the last 5 years from corner three-pointers, and he's flights on flights on flights. It's been a busy summer. This man's been in planes like crazy this summer. Grady Dick, this is the clip we're talking about. Grady looks stronger in the shoulders, and he did a little bump into the defender and got room and turned around and did the turnaround. That's a really nice move by Grady. That bump and turnaround could be a move for Grady this year. We have to see, with strength in his upper body, the ability to get room from the defender by creating room with a little bit of physicality it could be a game changer for Grady. Let's just put it that way. Trevor J. I like that. There he is greeting the children at his camp. And it's funny. He's shaking the kid's hand, and Grady looks funny with the way he's doing it. Yeah, it's just fun, good vibes. Now, Scotty has posted something on his Instagram stories. He has made a Instagram page for his dogs, Cardi and Cece. So y'all go and follow Scotty Barnes's dogs. His great, beautiful dogs, Cardi and Cece, have their own Instagram page now. There's only one post up so far. But yeah, go and follow the dogs, Scotty's dogs. Precious has had his birthday yesterday. Lots of birthday wishes for Precious all over the place. We see pictures of him when he's young and all that kind of stuff. Great, great birthday. Happy birthday to you, Precious, once again. Bruno Fernando is quoting something from the Bible. He's saying, I'm so grateful the Bible doesn't hide the failures of those who were used in Christ. The people God chose struggled with sin and the hardships of life. Yet, even through their imperfections, God did amazing things. So Bruno Fernando showing his faith today on his Instagram stories. There's Siakam with the book once again, and just a whole bunch of pictures of him and the Indiana Pacers working out in Orlando at his compound. Jonathan Mobo still being on blast for being serious players only first shoe deal. And he's hyping up these shoes all over the place. Casey Bannerman's got the Seinfeld meme with Kramer, what's going on in there? In-season tournament, Jerry. In-season tournament. DJ Carton getting his hair cut. He's looking very mushroom head. He's got quite the cap on his head now. That is very fluffy hair on top of DJ Carton's head. Amari Moore, it's his birthday this week. He's a CEBL champion, and he's also the highlight of the year champion for the 905 highlight competition they just had. He beat out Javon Freeman Liberty in the finals, so he won. That dunk is pretty nice. I mean, he does kind of do a Vince Carter, Frederick Weiss kind of thing where he goes up and over a bigger guy than him and throws it on him. Like, he gets up really high. So it is kind of like the dunk that Vince did in the Olympics way back. So it makes sense that Amari won, and also it makes sense that he won because he's still on our team. A lot of the other guys in that competition were not. There's that highlight again. Oh, my gosh, he threw it up over that guy, and that guy's probably a 7-footer. Pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, 995 and Amari Moore celebrating that. And Coach Andrew Jones has got a special invite to everybody on the 905's Instagram stories saying, our open tryouts are starting tomorrow, guys. They want you to come down to the 905 and Mississauga and try out for our G League team. So the open tryouts for the Raptors 905 G League team are tomorrow, guys. Get down there. If you haven't paid already, you got to pay a bit and get in there, and you could have a chance to possibly play on the Raptors 905. And there's people that have done it. People that walked up and did this tryout have made the team and played for the team in the past. So it's not like facetious. It's not something where you're just like, oh, I'll just do these. No, you could actually legitimately get on the team. So seriously, go down there and take it seriously. Jamal McGlure has got a thing up about standing against hunger. That's good. He's always for good causes and stuff. I like that. And let's see who else we got. Shed is out with his buddy, and they're like Patrick and SpongeBob. Jamal Shed, he's showing the bromance with one of his best friends, showing all the fun times. Twin ski. Yeah, he's just celebrating a friendship with probably one of his former teammates at Houston. So good stuff seeing that. So Jamal's a good friend, always looking out for his people. All right, there's your Instagram stories. Yeah, follow Cardi and Cece. They're on Instagram now. So you can check out Scotty's dog content. Scotty's dogs. Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on in the chat. Cowboy is here. Good to see the Canadian Cowboy. Bradley is in the house. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Dap to you, Bradley. I love this new court, but man, buying it every year, that's bonkers. The money should be going to the homeless people or kids programs. What a waste. I know. If not, just lower the ticket prices a little bit. I mean, it's extravagant. In some ways, the NBA has already been kind of out of control with making so many fucking jerseys. It's crazy. It's like, this is not kind of sustainable, kind of green thinking kind of stuff, making so many fucking jerseys all the time. But it's all about this. It's all about the flash. And I mean, I get why they do it all. But in some ways, somebody who's like me, who's a little bit green conscious, wants to know what's the outcomes with all this kind of stuff. Like, what do y'all do with the damn courts from last year? Seriously, just tell me what the fuck you did with our in-season tournament court from last year that was so beautiful, black and gray with the gold cup in the middle of it. Where the fuck did that court go? Because I love it. In some ways, I may ask you if I can get it and install it in my house. Seriously, no, I just want to know. Seriously, and we're wondering, yeah, we could do something to help the homeless or something with that money, that $150,000 y'all are spending every year at Raptors. I know y'all do so much good in the community, but still, seriously, this is extravagant, Adam Silver. And in a time where people are struggling to put food on their tables with the grocery bill, you guys fucking going around doing this shit. I mean, it is kind of just like the fall of Rome, honestly, this kind of shit. People are struggling just to have everyday lives. Meanwhile, the NBA's out fucking gallivanting around with crazy ass $150,000 courts that they only use for 2 games. You know, that's what I'm saying. There's a little bit of a parallels to other ages in time where fucking greedy ass people at the top doing crazy ass affluent shit, and fucking the masses are in trouble. And honestly, it's disgusting. I would just say that. Bradley, always good to see you. Kareem saying, Neon Moon, I completely agree. Let's just convert our court to ice and make the teams play Canadian basketball on skates. It saves a ton of money. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right solution either. I'm sure there's a middle ground, Kareem. We don't want them playing Canadian basketball on skate. Now, maybe there is some sort of sport out there that's like that, but I doubt it. In some ways, I'd want to know if somebody could actually elevate off skates and dunk it like that on ice. And how crazy would that be? And how, people get cut by those ice skates in the NHL. They're dangerous. And people are up there hanging on the rim and their skates are going all over the place. That sounds like Texas Chainsaw Massacre to me, Kareem. We don't need any of that. That's right. Alley-oop to Kareem. Yeah, we'll do it, even though it's an asinine idea that should never happen. That's right. I love you, Kareem. And you know that's just asinine. All right, 304. You're going to go 304 right now. Kareem is at 304. All right, let's see. Cowboys saying, oh, well, I guess like they say, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Quick question, Lex. How much do these courts cost? Must be a pretty penny. I read that they range from 100,000 to 150,000. That's how much those courts cost. Yeah. I mean, it just is. It's weird in some ways. I mean, it's 2 games, NBA. I understand every year you have the NBA courts are changed out and they get a fresh look every year. So they're already making them for what the how many games there, and if they have special courts they put in and out. I want to know how often are these courts reused and how the life cycle is and how long we're actually doing this for. We got to even think about the trees that they're cutting down to make these courts over and over again. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of sustainability questions I have about this as a green-minded individual about this fucking court in-season tournament shit. Yeah, Cowboys saying this must have been LeBron and Clutch's idea. What was wrong with the court we had last year? Maybe they forgot to tarp it and it got all wet and warped. I highly doubt that that's what happened, Cowboy, because knowing the Scotiabank Arena, having worked there for many years back in the day, there's all kinds of catacombs and places down underneath where they can store shit and it will be safe and it will not get wet. Even though they did have a leak in the ceiling of the Air Canada Center / Scotiabank Arena once, that was crazy, but that was more from an air conditioner or something like that. But yeah, I don't think this has anything to do with Clutch and LeBron. It just has to do with the NBA and their innovations and Adam Silver. It has more to do like with playing tournament people and people that are thinking of these ideas. And to make the in-season tournament mean more, well, they put a lot of flash into it, a lot of color, new stuff into it. And that's why right there. Yeah, Trevor's saying WNBA season single game attendance record last night. Game between Indiana Fever and Washington. 20,000 people, 711. That's fantastic. WNBA breaking records left and right. The season's over as of last night. And congratulations to Meredith for being a repeat champion in our fantasy WNBA league on this channel. He went undefeated this season, did not lose a single damn game from the all season long and to the playoffs, right up into the championship. The gold is going to Meredith in Ottawa, winning our fantasy league this year. Wow, so impressed with that. David Saborin getting silver, and Kareem Thomas getting the bronze. And this guy's 4th. Oh, well, it is what it is. Cowboys saying, you have me thinking, Trevor, once Toronto gets a WNBA team, we're going to smash the record. Let's go, Toronto. There you go. That'd be fun. I like that. I like that. I mean, we got to get going first. We still got a year. They got to play one more year at WNBA, and then Toronto will have a WNBA team. And yes, we will be covering it extensively on this channel right here. I will be doing WNBA just like I do the NBA at that point. Yeah. Trevor's saying, Cowboy, all sorts of records were broken last night in the WNBA. Yeah, they're killing it. It's all kinds of stuff. Most points in a season, Aja Wilson. Most rebounds in a season, Aja Wilson. Angel Reese breaking all kinds of rookie records for rebounding. Caitlin Clark breaking all kinds of records for rookie also. Attendance records, viewership records, everything getting broken this year for the WNBA coming alive with energy, just like when the NBA came alive in the early 80s around two young men named Irvin Johnson and Larry Bird. So it's like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have had that Magic and Larry effect on the WNBA this season. It's fantastic to see that happening. So if this pattern holds, just like the NBA, we're going to go into a golden age of the WNBA that's going to be very, very fun to watch, just like the NBA was in the 80s and 90s. So I'm all about it. Like, in some ways, an old head like me that loved the 80s and 90s NBA is like, if this is the era coming for the WNBA, I'm going to relish it. In some ways, I may become more of a WNBA fan than an NBA fan in some ways, because it's more pure. It's more competitive. It's more exciting. It doesn't seem like it's being fucked with so much by the referees. That kind of stuff. We'll have to see. When I get in there with the nuts and bolts, we'll see how much ref manipulation goes on in WNBA. But in some ways, because it's an expansion team, we're going in and new, and I don't have a lot of expectations for us. And any success is going to be badass as far as the Toronto WNBA team. That's what I'll say on that. Yeah. Yeah. Isaac saying, happy Free Can Friday, folks. That's right. Free Can Friday. That's right. Check it out in the community tab. And also on this channel, I have the Kensington Variety VIP Club, where we're doing Free Can Friday every Friday. So check out what I was doing 5 years ago. It's kind of crazy. Pre-pandemic Lex working in the convenience store at Kensington Market, downtown Toronto. So much fun. A cool cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free crew. Good TGIF. Countdown is on. Let's go. Let's go, cool cat. That's right, coach. The countdown is on. Where is my guy, Andrew, to tell me how many more days until the Raptors play the Wizards in Montreal on October the 6th in the Bell Center? Preseason NBA starting up then. Let's go. That's right. Kaz is here. Kaz, good to see you again. Good morning, Lex, in the chat. Good morning to you, Kaz. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your Friday and weekend. How about that, my guy? Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Isaac's got Grady Dick on blast. I love to see it. He's got the cool glasses. You know why Grady wears cool glasses? Because his future's so bright. He's got to wear shades. That's right. Grady Dick's future's so bright. He's got to wear shades. Have a bump and turn. A bump and turn. That's right, Grady Dick. That's right. Bump and turn. That's right. Bump and turn. That's right. Cowboys saying we should give the old court to new basketball courts built in Toronto or even Africa. I don't know how that works with outdoor courts, Bradley, but if we could do that in the indoor gyms, I mean, if somebody wants to be donated the old Raptors court. The other thing we got to think about too, Bradley, is the NBA court is bigger than almost every court in anywhere. Like there's smaller courts in gymnasiums for like middle schools and high schools. And even the college court is smaller than the NBA court. So in some ways, the dimensions might not be right to line that up, although they could take a couple parts out. Maybe they do make it right. Maybe they do. I don't know. That's an interesting idea. I like that we're having a think tank here on what do we do with these courts. Like, where the fuck is that great court from last year? That black and gray and gold one. That was such a nice court. That was one of the nicest basketball courts I ever seen. And I only seen them play on it twice. Only twice. And I got to go to one of the games and see it in person. But I only just got to see them play on it twice. And it feels like a shame. It just feels like a shame. That's right. Seymour's saying call in. Calling in. Seymour's calling in from Calgary, guys. Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Like Lance Storm. 7:36 Mountain Standard Time out in the prairie country of Canada. That's right, my guy, Seymour Pape, the city slicker. Mike is here checking in the downtown of the Toronto. Mike, logical Raptors fanatic. He's laughing out loud. Hey, Lex, it's the best of both worlds. Our main jersey is still normal, and the purple retro enjoyers have one purple and one dino. Well, this is what I was telling everybody. This is what's going on. It's the purple fever people really thought we were going to go back in the past like a time machine. Land of the lost, baby. Yeah, we're going land of the lost. No, we're not going land of the lost. We're not going all the way back like that. Nah, we're going to do special games where purple gets unveiled again. Purple court just for the in-season tournament. Purple games for Vince Carter honoring and 30th anniversary of Toronto Raptors franchise. Yeah, but the regular games are still there. The regular colors are still there. We see our regular Raptor logo still in the middle of the purple court. So that, yeah, I love it, Mike. In some ways, it's just the right balance. And I had faith in the Raptors as an organization to stylistically do this right with the right balance of old and new. And I'm very happy with it. Nins is here. Good to see Nins checking in the chat once again. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, Nins. TGIF, let's get out there and touch grass and enjoy our weekends. We got that extended summer in Ontario right now. It's badass. It's like we're going to get summer until October is what they're telling us. So I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. So y'all soak it up and get out there and get that sunshine because it is just beautiful these days. Not too hot and not cold at all. That's right. That's right, Nins. Thanks for joining back up as a purple member on the channel. I appreciate your membership. And Nins, if you are not in our Facebook group, you need to do the instructions of how to do it. And boom, you'll be in with us and we'll be sharing all the information as it comes. Woj bombing it. Since Woj is retired, well, we got Monique bombs now. So if you want to get the Monique bombs about the Raptors, what's going on from Superfan Mo herself, you got to join our Facebook group, private group, and you can get access to the by the minute Raptors information and news that's going on right away. Yeah. Salute to Nins from Seymour. Awesome to see. Brian's here. Good to see Brian, the king, checking in to the point. The point YouTube channel, talking Raptors and Canada basketball issues all the time. We love to see Brian in the chat. So Vince got on in Raps jersey and getting his net jersey retired. Yeah, this is was announced when they're gonna retire his jersey in Jersey. Well, not Jersey, but Brooklyn. But yeah, the Nets are gonna retire Vince's jersey at the end of January, which is before the game that we're gonna honor him at in February. And in some ways, I don't give a shit. Honestly, the Nets that's a whole separate other thing. In some ways, they're doing it partly because Vince is going into the Hall of Fame this fall. He's going to go in very soon, actually. And in some ways, this is the year to honor him because he's a Hall of Famer coming in the Hall. And well, he didn't just play for the Raptors. He played for like 8 teams in the NBA. And the Nets probably are the second most important team that he played for. And he had success with them. And in some ways, they want to honor him. So be it. Let them do their own thing. In some ways, we shouldn't be held to the standard of what they're going to do. In some ways, I would tell Masai Ujiri right now that, you know what, they're going to retire his jersey. Let's do something better. Let's do something bigger. Let's not even retire his jersey. Let's just build the statue for him outside our arena. If you do that, Masai, that tops a jersey retirement. I'm sorry. And in some ways, you get around the inconvenient thing about Vince's history here with some of us. Is, you know, you in some ways you top the Nets with their honoring by building a fucking statue like Michael has outside in Chicago, like Kobe has multiple ones outside in LA. Yeah, that's a bigger deal than just putting it up in the rafters like they are. So that's what I would say, Masai. You guys need to do it this way because the Nets, in some ways, are trying to make us look bad. And in some ways, them announcing that they're going to retire the jersey before us, I don't care. It's not a race. In some ways, we're not totally wanting to retire his jersey. You know, this is the way you supersede it. And just so, yeah, well, you retired his jersey, but we're going to fucking put a statue up of him outside our arena. So I think that trumps that. That beats that. I shouldn't say that. That tops that. That tops that. Fuck that word. Fuck that word. Yeah, let's see. W to Nins. Yeah, I'm all about that. I'm all about that. W to Kaz. W to Kaz. W to Nins. W to the benevolent Isaac Campbell holding it down in the nation's capital for us. Isaac, I'm so happy to see you back in the chat this morning. I appreciate you, my guy. I know people get busy. You got work. You got stuff going on. You got your kids and stuff. I understand you can't be in the chat with us every morning. So don't ever feel bad about that, Isaac. Seriously, you're my guy. You're my guy. And your words of encouragement to the Raptors and Raptors alumni all over social media in different places is felt. And that's why you're a top fan of DeMar DeRozan on Facebook. I know you are, man. I know you are. Mike saying Tobias just expired. Philly has to get to the conference finals at least. There's no excuses. Yeah, that albatross that was hanging around their necks in Philadelphia named Tobias Harris is in Detroit now playing for the Pistons. And yeah, it was nice to see him celebrating his buddy Boban getting the new contract overseas. But yeah, in some ways, you're right. There's been a lot of mismanagement by the Sixers with some luck with really talented players mixed in there. And some ways they need there's point is exactly what Mike's saying, that they need to do it now. They got a good coach. They've got a pretty good cast around Joel and Tyrese now. You know, Paul George could fuck this up. Don't get it twisted. Paul George could fuck this up for them. Seriously, he could still. In some ways, there is Paul George on the spectrum of Tobias Harris. Just what I'm saying here right now. Right. Yeah. Yeah, Cowboys Nins and salute the sheriff. That's right. Nins, you want a dunk? We're gonna give you a dunk. Everybody's celebrating Nins. Let's do it. Nins, you're getting a 3-pointer. We're at 8 for you. You got 8 dunks now. Right on. I love to see it. All right, let's keep going. Seymour saying, I got some hail damage on my hood. Damn you, hail. Oh, well, I'm going to get some moolah, some paper. I got some hail. All hail. All hail. Make me sound like I'm back in Tallahassee real quick. All hail. I got hail. You know, it's funny because people down south could say all hail, but they don't get hail hardly ever down there. But I've seen hail up here quite a bit. It's pretty funny. Yeah, this can happen. People's cars get totaled by hail sometimes. It's dangerous in some ways. It could fuck your car up. So, yeah, Seymour, I hope you have the good insurance and you're going to get some moolah to help fix that car you got there. Yeah, that's crazy. Cowboys saying F Philly. We the North is coming. That's right, baby. Let's go, Cowboy. I'm with you on that. Seymour's saying that Sixers, 76ers, 67ers, all of them. Yeah, you guys are going the two finger salute. One finger salute to the Sixers franchise right now. Okay, I'll allow it. I'm not going to stop y'all. Mike saying Grady added size to his shoulders, arms, and chest for sure. He's going to be able to defend forwards better. Yeah, and also, I mean, that's on one side, Mike. We got to think about on the other side on offense, he'll be able to create space more too in some ways. Yeah, I like how quick and intelligent Grady is on the court with getting to spots. And the fact if he has more strength coming with swipes, it will help him a lot in the NBA. Yeah, and it's really encouraging to see because this was one of my biggest gripes with him as a draft pick was this kid is not as ready for the NBA, but boy, is he making it ready quick. And after his first year in the NBA, he is looking more and more like an NBA size player with his muscles at this point, which is really, really good. He needed this. This was essential. I mean, in some ways, he's looking more muscle bound than Delano Banton, and Delano Banton's going into his 4th year in the NBA. So that's kind of interesting to me right there. Cool Cat saying, DeMar feeling the love from Canada. I love to see it. Woohoo. Siakam needs an audiobook version and not a traditional book. Time is critical. I think you're right. And it'd be funny if it's actually DeMar's voice. That'd be cool. Yeah, I think you're right. In some ways, Pascal's too busy. He's got probably like triple day workouts he's doing. You know, he's crazy. And in some ways, you're right. That's why he can't sit around and read because he can't be still to keep the kinetics of the Siakam stuff going in motion. And I think you're exactly right, Cool Cat. Seymour saying, am I wrong for wanting Grady to be a better shooting version of Craig Elo? I love that reference, Seymour. You know, that reference is going to give you a dunk right there. You just brought up Craig Elo, man. That's so crazy. All right, let me break this down for a sec after I give you your dunk. 136 for Seymour on the dunks. I think that, all right, in some ways, first of all, Craig Elo is about 6'7", so they're about the right same height. Craig Elo was definitely not. I don't think Craig Elo is as big as Grady is now. Like seriously, in some ways, Craig Elo never really had a lot of muscle mass on him. Man, this is interesting. I think he could be the better shooting version of Craig Elo because in some ways he's more Capono. He's more those kind of shooters, like really dead-eye shooters. And Craig Elo, as much as he was a good three-point shooter and he was kind of known for that, he wasn't the best three-point shooter on his team. He wasn't even Mark Price was, obviously, and so was Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr was on that team with them in Cleveland for a while, too, in his very beginning of his career. So, man, you see, Craig Elo is definitely not even as good a shooter as him. It's for sure. So I see this, exactly what you're saying, Seymour. Grady is a bigger, stronger Craig Elo that shoots better than Craig Elo. Yeah, I could see that. Seriously. All right, let me see it. Jumped ahead. Let me make sure I get on the right right spot with you guys in the chat. So many good comments today. Cool Cat saying, I'm excited to see Grady year 2 growth. He's bulked up. I love to see it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm all about it. Like all these guys in some ways, like we know Scotty's changed his body a bit since he's came into the league. We got to see stuff with Jacoby over time with him. It's going to be very, very interesting. We have to see. But Grady is looking really promising right now. Very, very promising with the body build that he's done in this summer. Smooth saying there's a renewed pressure on the Raptors to win as soon as possible. With the majority ownership of Rodgers, I don't think they're going to be tolerant with a rebuild. Well, I mean, listen, if Keith Pelly's smart and Ed Rodgers as extension, they got to understand that if you just want a perpetual garbage team, well, do things a certain way. In some ways, they got to be smart and think about how to do it. But I think you're right, Smooth. The pressure is on, but in some ways, the pressure has always been on. It's been on like this all along. In some ways, there may be deeper, worse repercussions if there is failure than there was a couple days ago. But also at the same time, this pressure and this kind of thing has always been kind of around the team as far as things. And you know what? In some ways, I'm just giving it up to my higher power, giving it up to God. How about that? And I'm going the way of quickly. And I'm saying, look, whatever's predestined for us, I want it to be beautiful and awesome and amazing. And I'm going to envision that. I'm going to foretell good things for our team, for myself, for y'all, for everybody's life, and hope for the best. And in some ways, the more I think about a doomsday scenario, the more I think about the bad things happening, the more I give it power to that. So I'm going to use the power of positive thinking and not forecast bad things and just wish for the best, because in some ways that's very powerful perception and mindset to live by, because you make things happen in the right way and not in the way you don't want. It's almost like we shoot ourselves in the foot with our language and the way we perceive things and the way we kind of think about it. And I don't want to go this route, Smooth. It's real easy. The older me, like me, version of me, probably would be very pessimistic and doomsday about it. But right now, I just got to shine a light. If there's one thing I'm going to do on this Raptors channel, even if things get dark around our franchise, I'm going to try and shine a light. So we can't control this. So in some ways it's scary, but in some ways I'm also going to start visualizing good things in the future instead of doomsday. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this. Smooth saying Ujiri is on the clock, man. Yeah, I mean, we're hearing things that, and this could very well be very true, guys, that Masai is going with Larry around 2026. So we need to be ready for this. And in some ways, we need to be vigilant, as we always have been, to protect the honor and the name of Ujiri, and trying to extend him as long as possible involved in our team. I know that if he does leave at some point, it will be felt. And a lot of people that talked a lot of shit about his management style and what's been going on with the Raptors over his time are going to feel it. And they're going to be like, oh, I was an idiot. Why did I say this? So, I mean, it's tough. It's a tough situation for Raptors fans right now. It does seem like there's some bad news for us in this recent days. But in some ways also, we don't know for sure. And we just got to see how it plays out and hope for the best. And in some ways, if we see, feel, and want and visualize good things happening, speak it into existence, maybe that's what will happen. So long time, Masai Ujiri be in charge of the Raptors for a long time from now, even if it's murky and it does seem like it may not be happening. We don't know. It could very well be when Keith Pelly says he values superstars on teams like Scotty Barnes and Austin Matthews. Well, it may also mean that he values superstars in the front office like Masai Ujiri. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Cowboys saying, yep, and there's the team. Yep, we got to go. And in some ways, we got Aldrich Shamshay. He needs to get going. Come on, kid. You might need to be the one who saves us. Seriously. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Friday. I missed the last 3 streams, but I got a chance to listen a bit. We missed you, MJ. We've missed you in the chat live, but I appreciate you coming back and listening to me later on. If you do not catch me live, it's always great to listen to me when you're watching on your own at 1.5 or 1.75 speed, because you'll catch everything I'm saying, even if it's very much sped up. So yeah, if you're not watching me live like you are right now, definitely watch me sped up, and the time will get cut down a lot. Mike saying the Nuggets built around and never an all-star 6th pick and a low 2nd round draft pick, and a guy that was injured had picked at like 15. Murray, Jokic, MPJ, People need to relax and let the team grow. Yeah, in some ways, like I was telling Smooth, is we can't control what's going to happen with this team completely. In some ways, we can be fans and have our voice, and in some ways, we've got an avenue to get it out there in a very consolidated place right here. And in some ways, that can be shaping of things, at least because they do care about what our opinions are. They do care about what we think. And in some ways, we do have a power in that. So in some ways, we need to be smart about what we want and not be so crazy and toxic like a lot of Raptors social media is, and be kind of like healthy and thinking about what's best for the team in the long run, and not knee jerks kind of stuff where it's like, oh, I want them to trade this person or get this person. None of this knee jerk stuff. None of this. We got to be very wise and sage and smart and thinking long term and sustainable. Like Masai said, Darko's system sustainable. We've got a lot of young players coming up that look really good, and hopefully they can grow and help us a lot with success. So yeah. Randolph saying, morning blessings, beloved Raptor freaks, most informative gang. Those who say it cannot be done will try to discourage and interrupt those who believe and are doing it. There you go. I love that message, a word of wisdom from Randolph today. I agree with this. Naysayers will tell you, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, that's because they don't think they can, but they don't know if you can or not. And you know you can. So you go ahead and do it. I love that, Randolph. Blessings to the Phillips family also, and all the Raptor Freaks families out there right now. Let's see what Leo's saying this morning, guys. Leo's saying, leave who you were, love who you are, look forward to who you will become. There you go. Leave who you were. That's right. If there's old versions of you that were maybe toxic, maybe not the best person, maybe you had some tough lessons, leave them behind. And you are an evolved person who changes over time. And you can't beat yourself up for the old person that you were if you became a better person now. And love who you are currently, right now. You got to do that and look forward to who you'll become. And, you know, a journey in life is everybody's different, and you have your own self discovery, and you have your own milestones and your own aha moments. And in some ways, we change as a people, and sometimes we don't. And that's fine too. So yeah, I love Leo's life lessons right there, and also Randolph and Trevor. Thank you guys, all that stuff. Yeah, Mike saying Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz were first picks, and what championship did they win? Tanking or rushing doesn't work. I believe in this, and I think Mike is right, and I think that that's something that our franchise has understood, and that's part of the reason why we don't really look like a weird team that's doing weird stuff. You know, half the time. I know we've lost a lot in the last 5 years, but in some ways, it wasn't totally our fault because we were in Tampa. In some ways, there was a pandemic that really hurt our momentum with our team, the post championship, because we had the best record in the East at that time when COVID hit. So there's a lot of unforeseen shit that's kind of derailed things in different ways. And I agree with Mike. There's no quick, easy route. In some ways, we got to do this correctly. And I hope everybody in the fan nation will have patience with this, along with the ownership group. Seriously. Yeah, Kareem saying, understand that this is what Masai Ujiri gets paid for. He finds gems, flips rosters, and builds chips. This is his favorite part of the job. Yes, we had a dull couple of years, but page has been turned. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. In some ways, this is the stuff that Ujiri does really, really well, and we need him to continue to do well. And that's why we want him to continue to be in charge of the Toronto Raptors. I think I had a knock at the door, guys. I'm sorry. I'm being in the middle of this live stream, and there's people coming here to do something, and unfortunately, there's nobody else here right now. So I may need to walk away for like 2 minutes. I'm hoping they could just go to work, but because I think they were told that I was going to be live right now. But they're coming here. The tree people are here. They're going to take down some of the dead trees in my yard, and nobody else is here right now except for me. So I might need to go talk to them. We'll see if they knock again. Maybe they'll just get to work because they said they didn't need anybody to be here to talk to. So let's see. All right, Kareem's also saying we have Ulrich, who this year would have been a lottery draft pick if he had went to school. Ujiri is already ahead of the curve. Yeah, I think that's true. He's getting out early and getting the pre-sale on Ulrich, early buy from. He probably would be a lottery pick in this draft coming up this year, and he got him a year early at the end of the draft. So that's so. I don't know what's going on here. Why is it saying this is connected? Okay, there we go. Smooth saying, based on the history of Rodgers and sports teams, is what I'm basing opinions on. I'm not going to dispute what you're saying, Smooth. I'm just going to say that, like, in this situation, our best course is to just wish for the best and hope for the best, and hopefully all the good things will happen, and that we don't have any issues that are catastrophic or bad for the team in really bad ways, like as far as people getting fired or things like that. So, yeah, the tree people are here, and I'm not even totally sure what they're doing exactly. But yeah, I might have to cut the stream short and soon, guys. So no more comments, please, and let's do the classic card real quick, guys. No, 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 no. I hope they get those trees right. They know which ones to do, I think. Okay, I'm just gonna do the first card I grab. Okay, here we go. I think we've had this card before. If you guys know who this is, tell me who it is and full name. Don't half-ass me, and you'll get the points. You'll get the points. That get the points. There we go. Who is that? Smooth. Do you know who this is? I bet you. I think we've had this guy for a classic card before. So if you guys can remember or know who that face is. All right, let's see. Is anybody going to have any guesses? Horace Grant is not right, Isaac, but that is a goggle person. Horace didn't have as much of a beard, and that's not the right jersey, I think, right there. That's that looks like a Heat jersey, just so you guys know. Heat jersey. So if you guys can figure it out, get me off the hook here on the classic card for today, and I'll write it in for David real quick. Yeah, we got good jerseys. G, take a guess on the classic card, guys. Is Smooth still here? Maybe Smooth will know it. Come on, guys. Who's that? That's pretty easy. He was on the Pistons too. He was on the Heat. He was on the Pistons. I'm trying to remember what other team he was on. But he was mostly on the Heat. Kevin Willis is not right, Isaac. Thanks for keeping on guessing, Isaac. But it's not Kevin Willis. I don't know how to get this right. He has the same first name as a NBA all-time great that has a dad who played in the NFL named Calvin. Does that give a guess right there? And his last name is the opposite of short. I don't know. Does that help anybody right there? I mean, I just want to get this done. Steve Smith is not right, Isaac. I really appreciate you guessing. Nobody else is guessing. Come on, y'all. Come on. Somebody's got to try and get a guess. Steve Smith is not right. Steve Smith never wore any goggles, I don't think. Let's see. Eye candy. Okay, you're going on about eye candy right now. Is somebody live? Y'all hit the live button. Y'all may not be live right now. Steve Tall. That's not right. The opposite of short. The opposite of short is not tall. Or wait, maybe it is. I guess that could be it, but that's not right. And then Steve's not the right first name. Steve Francis. Come on, guys. Look at the face. Look at the face. We got to show that our Raptors people know. Steve Long. No, why would it be Steve? I said that has the same first name as somebody who has a dad who's somebody in the NBA whose dad played in the NFL, and his dad's name was Calvin. It is Calvin. Yeah, and it's not Paul Long. Long is the right name. Yeah, Grant Long. Grant Long. Yeah, it's Grant Hill's dad, Calvin Hill, and Grant Long. Long is the opposite of short, right? So yeah, there you go, Miami Heat. So Isaac, I'm gonna give you 150 for this. So where is it? Where is it? Right here. Let me get on the classic card page. Isaac Campbell getting Grant Long. He made the most guesses, that's for sure. All right, Isaac. I just got to put this in for David, since David is AWOL right now. All right, let me get back into the chat. It looks like I'll be able to probably talk to them before they start cutting stuff down. So I'll figure this out. Hang on. Where was I in the chat here? Okay, here we go. Okay, see, Cowboys saying boom goes the dynamite, and Mike's saying everyone is mad at trades, but if you win too much in trades, then no one wants to deal with you. You have to take losses at times. You can afford to. When you're looking in on championship, you need to make key trades. I think that's true. That's hurt us in an indirect way, that people are hesitant to deal with Masai and Bobby because they're so shrewd, and often they make them look bad. And in the beginning, they did all kinds of deals that made people look bad. And now some people have a hard time dealing with them because they just don't trust them. New York, in particular, that deal for Anunoby was worked out over months and months, and it was not easy to get brokered because there was a lot of mistrust. Obviously, they're suing us right now. The stupid ass New York Knicks team is suing the Raptors as a team, and they still managed to do one of their major trades in the past few years with us last season. So it's kind of crazy. Cowboys saying it's going to be hard to stop this team. I think you're right. I think it'll be fun. We'll have to see what goes on. Cowboys saying, I wish I was rich. I'd buy that floor and put it in my house. I know. That's what I was kind of saying. That'd be funny to have that old in-season tournament court from last year. It'd be fun. Let's see. Seymour saying a lot of Canadians complaining that jobs are being taken by foreigners, from the prime minister's position to Tim Hortons servers. Maybe that same hate is coming from Messiah. Your thoughts? Well, I mean, all right. This is manufactured stuff like crazy, and they're using the same shit down in the States. Is basically they're coming for our jobs, just like on South Park. They're coming for our jobs. Listen, a lot of the immigrants that come here take jobs that you don't want anyway. And second, Justin Trudeau is actually cutting back on the programs with temporary workers currently right now. This is true. There's a lot of people in Canada that are old and white, and they really believe in like the old school, like Beavers and like hockey and beer kind of Canada place. And well, having so many immigrants coming to Toronto and other major cities in Canada, they worry about losing the whiteness of the country. So this is just a guys, they can't just be blatantly racist at this point, Seymour. So they have to say, oh, they're taking our jobs and stuff like that. Half the jobs that these people take are jobs that nobody else wants to do, and they're not taking jobs from you usually. So it's a lot of manufactured bullshit to divide, to give a boogeyman to fearful white people. And it's a lot of that. And now the Raptors are involved in this because they represent they have a more diverse immigrant fan base, and basketball is not hockey. And so these are married together. And in some ways, the Raptors and their place in Canada is kind of involved in this whole thing. And that's why some people are just very racist. They're like, I hate the Raptors. I hate basketball. I don't get why people like watch basketball. Well, in some ways, it's like, look, I could say, do you hate black people also? Is this part of the reason why you don't like the NBA? It's this kind of stuff. So Seymour, the same action of those people that are like that, it's the same people that are saying, oh, they're taking our jobs and I hate immigrants and there's too many immigrants coming here. It's the same shit right there. So you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And not a lot of people, those people that are complaining want those Tim Hortons jobs. So I would say that also. And the other thing that the misconception about immigrants is they're paying all their taxes. They're doing all this stuff into the system, and often they're getting shafted by us. So it's like, it's a myth when they say they're just leeching off the system. No, they're actually essential workers. They're helping the system and keeping the economy going. And they're actually usually paying their taxes and being very good citizens in general. So there's a lot of bullshit and misconceptions about this. And the Raptors are involved in all this because they represent some of this stuff. Mike saying when they introduced the WNBA and they talked about everything aspect of deals being a negotiation and choosing where to win matters for both sides. Losing trades to the Spurs and Pacers is a win for relationships with other teams that build through the draft and trades and development. The players that we need and having a good relationship with those teams is a win at the moment when we need to pick and develop. I kind of understand what you're saying, Mike, but it's very long-winded. Yeah, I mean, I get it in some ways. I mean, I don't even listen. Every deal is what it is. And in some ways, if you're going to talk about Koloko, that's unforeseen. If you're going to talk about Jonte, that's unforeseen. There's a lot of things that happen in the NBA that are unforeseen. There's injuries, there's things that happen, and sometimes things don't work out. And that's why being a GM is a tough, thankless job, because you're more likely to fail or have problems and criticism then really look like you were amazing and you just did something amazing. And Masai and Bobby continually do that still. I still say that what they did with Sacramento this summer with Jalen McDaniels is absolutely brilliant. And there's a lot of deals in the last few years that people didn't like the Jakob one. But I actually thought that Jakob one was really good. And everybody's saying, oh, this is a disaster because we lost our draft pick this year. Some of it is just stupid. There's going to be a give and a take, like Mike is describing here in the NBA, and that everybody's unrealistic if they think that the Raptors can just take. There is some give that we have to give also in the other way. And this is what Mike's talking about right here. Cool Cat's saying, Lex, those teams honoring Vince didn't win a championship like us, so they may be their franchise best hype. That's part of it. In some ways, the Nets have already retired a bunch of jerseys, and it's not like they're making a decision to retire the very first jersey for their franchise. We have not retired a single damn jersey, and that's very special, and that's very important. And that's why it should probably be number 10 or number 7. And a lot of Raptors fans agree with me that we don't need to retire 15 before 7 or 10. And I'm with that. I'm with that completely. And that's part of it right there. In some ways, also, the Nets are an older franchise, and we are a younger franchise than them. And they have more history. Dr. J is retired for them. So it's like, in some ways, they want to collect more badass dunkers in their retired jersey list. Dr. J and Vince Carter are 2 of the top ever dunkers, probably in the top 3 ever in the history of dunking in the NBA. So, I mean, there's a lot to this. And in some ways, once again, it's not about what they're doing. They have the right to do what they're doing. But in some ways, we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to what they're doing, because his Nets career is totally different than his Raptors career. And that's part of it right there. Let's see. Mike's saying relationships with other teams that build. Oh, wait, I read that already. Quantum's saying, I'm a freak. There you go, Quantum. You're a Raptors freak? Let's go, Raptors freaks. Let's go to the games. They're coming again, and we're going to be down at the arena. That's right. That's right. I love it. Smith saying 2 best players in the history of the New Jersey Nets, Vince Carter and Jason Kidd. I don't know about that. I would say Dr. J is probably one of the most important players to play for the Nets ever. Dr. J has got to be up there. And in some ways, I get what you're saying. The most success the Nets had was getting the finals with Jason Kidd and Vince Carter, and losing to Shaq and Kobe and the Lakers in the finals. So yeah, that may be true in some ways, because that's the furthest they got with those guys. Cool Cat saying, I myself don't read traditional books anymore. No time. I go through audiobooks, podcasts that replace the traditional reading. That's great. And in some ways you can multitask because you do it that way. Because I know that, you can prep dinners while you're listening to something, or do other things. So I totally get it. You're maximizing your time, Cool Cat. I get it. Trevor's saying, how come the Maple Leafs and the Jays don't get the same pressure to win like the Raptors? Well, they do, Trevor. It's just we're not in the middle of it. In some ways, we're in the middle of it because we're Raptors fans and we're day-to-day on this. But don't get it twisted. The Leafs have pressure on them like crazy. And in some ways, their pressure is different. And their pressure is kind of like passively kind of like giving up. But there's also pressure in some ways. And then the Blue Jays, yeah, there's pressure there too. Trust me. You go talk to Blue Jays freak. They've got a lot to say about their front office and what the hell has been happening with their team. And there's pressure there. It's just that we're not in the middle of it. And in some ways, we're not parts of those really diehard fan nations. I mean, if you were, Trevor, you could see. Maybe we could talk to Dana about it, because she's a very big-time Blue Jays fan. So, stuff like that. Mike's saying the Raps won a chip 5 years ago. Rodgers needs to focus on the teams that haven't won a championship this century. One, it's been 30-plus years, and the other, it's been like 70 years. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that at least we can say that. In some ways, the guy who got that championship is still in charge of the team. And that is a really good chip with, protecting him. I will say this. We really need to hope that Keith Pelly is a good buffer between Ed Rodgers wanting to meddle with the Raptors. In some ways, Ed Rodgers needs to let Keith Pelly and just trust him be in charge of the Raptors and be that person that works with Masai. If Larry's gone and Masai is able to still be here, hopefully that's true, then Keith Pelly will probably have to be that guy that works with Masai in between the ownership. And that's hopefully going to be a very fruitful relationship that gets along really well, and they're going to have a good thing going. So we'll have to see. Bryce is here. Good morning, Lex from Raptor Freaks. Bryce checking in from Kentucky in the United States. Good to see Bryce. Seymour saying, Trevor, things that make you go, smooth brown man. Kittles and Kid. Kittles and Kid. Kerry Kittles? You talking about Kerry Kittles? We're talking about Keith Van Horn. We're talking about Kenyon Martin. We're talking about that era of the Nets. Richard Jefferson, old Dick Jefferson. That's right. Trevor's saying, and those two teams have not won a championship in a long time, but Raptors win one in the 20th century. I know, and we can say this, and we can still say this among the Toronto teams right now, as far as the Blue Jays and the Leafs. Leafs fans get all big and bad and trying to act tough. Well, when's the last time y'all won? It's all we got to say. So I get it. You guys are talking about pressure. You're talking about the new ownership with Rogers owning all the teams. Well, I agree with you guys. In some ways, we have a track record of success that's a little bit better than the other two teams at this point right now. And that's just the damn truth. Blackhawks saying, "What is the best for the team? Is the best for what is best for the team is for the season to start. Let's go." There you go, Neil. Excited about the season starting. Blackhawk, always good to see you, man. And Cool Cat saying, Masai said COVID set us back 5 years, but many fans have forgotten that statement. Yeah, I don't even think it's totally 5 years. I would say maybe 1 or 2 years, really, because in some ways we're going to be where we're going to be either way. Bryce is saying 10 days until media day, then training camp, October the 1st to the 5th. Then the Canada series, the 6th, it's approaching us fast. That's right. And a lot of players are here in Toronto already working out right now. That's a long 10 days, as Neil's saying. Thank you for playing the classic card, Isaac. And I'm going to finish up, guys, because the tree people are out there, and I want to go talk to them. Cream saying, told my wife about Scotty having a baby. She asked me with who. I showed her Alyssa Ray's TikTok. She said she seems goofy like him, then asked her age. When she found out she was 32, she was disgusted. That's ridiculous. I mean, y'all are middle age, right? Y'all are around my age. You're in your 40s, right, Kareem? So I don't understand why she'd be upset about that. In some ways, I would think that the ladies would be like, "You go, girl, get yourself a young stallion," that kind of shit. That's weird. I don't understand why she's disgusted by that. I mean, she's very goofy, just like him, and it's obvious that they're a good match because of their goofiness. That's for sure. G saying Raptors have the best uniforms in tournament court. We are lit. That's true. I will agree with this. I will. Seymour saying hi to Eye Candy. I love that. Kaz is saying, found your channel about a month ago. I'm a truck driver, so I'm usually lurking in the chat while driving. Appreciate your dedication to the Raptors and your community. There you go, Kaz. I love that, man. And thanks for the super chat. I love that so much, my guy. I love your story. And that's part of what we're doing here is all the Raptors freaks are all over the place. And we love hearing like specific stories about, you have anything you want to share about things, man. We love hearing that stuff. So, Kaz, welcome, and I'm glad you found us. And yeah, if you're RFF, man, you are RFF for good, man. That's right, for life. It's just like NWO. You're RFF for life. Too sweet. That's right. There you go, Kaz. I love it so much, man. You're awesome, man. That's so cool. Let's see. All right, where was I? It jumped ahead a little bit. Let's see. Thank you for getting Grant Long. Yeah. Mike's saying he doesn't know the NFL. So you didn't know that Grant Hill's father, Calvin Hill, played in the NFL. Yeah. Mike's saying Masai is a true immigrant asset to Canada. I don't think people feel he's DEI, not gonna lie. This DEI thing is absolutely full of shit. People that are making this is a term right now. It's a dog whistle and it's stupid. Everybody who's getting mad and using the term DEI is kind of a racist. I'm going to tell you right now. In some ways, affirmative action has been important because people of color and minorities have been shafted from positions and different things historically in systemic racism. And you know what? In some ways, having hires that show diversity is actually really healthy and good for an organization. So people that use the code word DEI hire, like they're doing for the vice president of the United States right now, are gross. It's another code word for I'm racist. So people that are going around saying DEI hire, yeah, they're fucking racist. I'll just say that. Andrew saying, morning, folks. Can't stay for long, but only 16 days until the Raptors basketball. There you go, Andrew. I'm glad you came in and did the countdown for us, my guy. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, 16 days. Ooh, that's like just 2 days and 2 weeks. Wow, that's really close. Seymour saying, Andrew, salute. Salute to Andrew. That's right. W to cause. W cause for real, man. Mike saying Keith could definitely be a buffer to allow Masai to stay longer. The way Keith was talking, he likes the brand noticeably. The Masai brings in a bunch of international growing markets. Yeah. I mean, Keith Pelly's a smart businessman. Well, he knows that he should keep Ujiri, is what I'm going to say right there. So, Keith Pelly, we're your friend. We love you, man. And just, man, do good for the Raptors, please, please. Seymour saying, Lex, you enhanced my reading skills for sure. I've never read Ish in my life. Maybe finished 2 novels in my life. I read all the comments now. Thanks. See, he's reading the comments here, and it's like he's getting reading lessons. That's awesome, Seymour. We love you, man. And big W to you, Kaz. Seriously, to you. All right, let me run through and make sure I'm getting done because I do need to jump out of here, guys. I really do. Lou Williams was on an interview with DeMar DeRozan, and he says that he believes that the Toronto Raptors did not re-sign him due to his lifestyle. And he's talking about Drake referencing him in the Six Man song on that album, talking about him having two girlfriends. And he thinks that Drake got him unre-signed with the Raptors. But Lou, you were kind of showing pictures of you and your girlfriends all over the place anyway. And Drake didn't need to write the song to put you on blast for that. Seriously. Either way, it is just what it is. And Lou Williams, you're a Raptor legend forever, even if it was for only one season and you were the sixth man. That's right. Happy birthday today, guys, to Daniel Oturo. Daniel Oturo was one of the replacement players for the Raptors on that fateful Boxing Day when Yuta Watanabe and Chris Boucher and Delano Banton tried to lead the team against Kevin Love and the Cavs, and we got beat in one of the worst games ever in history. So Daniel Oturo, happy birthday to you. Once again, congratulations to Meredith for winning our fantasy WNBA league this year, and second place to David and third place to Kareem. Good job, guys, competing all year long, and we will do it again next year, guys. We will definitely do it again next year. All right, y'all, the court, it's $150,000, and we only use it for 2 games a year. What are we doing, NBA? What is that message, Adam Silver, about disposable things in society? In some ways, we should value our items and make sure that we keep them for a long time because a lot of stuff gets put in landfills. And what is the message that we're making all 30 NBA teams build new courts every year for the in-season tournament for only 2 fucking games? Seriously, that's crazy to me, man. Mike saying Lou didn't play defense and didn't think he needed to win with scoring, and hence his defense. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, Mike. Y'all, thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And tomorrow we'll do a Saturday Share the Love Club. We're going to do Herbie tomorrow, guys. Herbie Coon, you're getting your Share the Love Club tomorrow, guys. We're going to celebrate the announcer for the Raptors since the very beginning, the whole 30 years of the Raptors' existence. We got to do something for Herbie, guys, the guy who gets everybody's names pronounced right. That's right. Pound the Rock era was about playing defense, and Lou Williams was a take the last shot at the end of the game specialist for Dwayne Casey. In fact, it got a little bit kind of cliche and repetitive and also very predictable that the Raptors are going to use Lou Williams at the end of the game when he was playing for us. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks. Big W's to all y'all. Thank you, Kaz, once again for your super chat. And Nins, thanks for joining as a member. Y'all have a great Friday and a great weekend. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to celebrate Herbie. Get out there, Raptorize your day, touch grass, and just do it the way Nab Bhatia would and get things going right in life. All right, let's go, Raptors. And believe in good. It will be coming to you if you do.